Welcome to the Hasn't Been 3 Days podcast with your hosts Justin and BJ. We talk about 3-day-old news, sports, and whatever else we want to talk about. You, the MVP listener, you listen in, you laugh, you might cry, we might cry. You hate on our takes, you have an opinion, but if you do, just don't let us know unless it's been 3 days. You can email us at the email box at number 3dayoldpodcast@gmail.com. And our email box right now has 30 unread messages in it. And this could be one of those topics that we're going to talk about tonight. But before we get into that, thanks for listening. Here we are again. Justin, how are you?
Doing good. Off to, the start of the week. Is that the hill to die on? Is that a hill to die on? Is the start of the week Sunday or is it Monday?
Yeah, that's one of those unpopular opinions, depending on if you're Jewish or not, I guess. I don't know.
I'm not Jewish. But no, the start of the week is going good. I call Sunday my start of the week. It's,
See, and I'd probably go the other way. I'd probably say it's the end of the week.
You think it's the end of the week?
Yeah.
Well, I guess it just depends on where you put all your burdens. They go at the end or the beginning.
Hey, that's the series that we're going through in church is burdens.
Oh, really?
Yeah. This weekend was the burden of shame. And then we listened to last week's message today as well, and it was the burden of perfectionism.
Okay.
So, yeah, where do you lay your burdens? That's a good question.
I guess that's where my week starts. I guess I'll just, finish the week, start my weeks, give my burdens, move on. But no, this weekend we did not much. We just kind of laid low. My daughter's heading into going to teen camp, so she needs all the last minute running around that needs to happen, I guess, and figure out what giant suitcase she gets to take. So
yeah. Well, I want to ask a question about that, but before we do that, I think we'd be remiss if we didn't say thank you to our guests over this last few episodes and just what they have brought to the show. I've gotten a lot of feedback personally, and just people just really have appreciated the interviews that we've done and the people that have come on and just the relationships that are there. So I want to just thank every one of those guests that have come on. You've been instrumental in our life. And we just are really grateful for you taking the time to spend an hour with us as we ask some silly questions and ask some tougher questions and just talk about life and our life together. So thank you to all of our guests this season and everybody that's joined the show this year. It's been awesome. So I just want to say shout out to all of them today.
Yeah, no, I second that. And a handful of them, we've said this in the episode, but they're just like, I don't know what we're going to talk about. What am I going to bring to a podcast? And it's always fun that afterwards, when we're talking to them after the episode or a few days later, they're just like, I'm ready to do this again. I would do this again. And they realize, like, what other story? I mean, when Cara was on, I got text messages from her like, you know what? I should have told this story. And I'm like, no, we'll hold on. So, but I imagine that, that's what a lot of people say. So it's been fun, and we look forward to keep on adding those. We have a few others that the summer is busy for people. And we're just we're going to figure out the next season.
Yeah.
We're kind of at I don't know. We're 22? What do we do? 22 episodes, or 23 episodes this season? Wherever our seasons start and stop. I think we're discussing that right now. So we might take a pause for a little bit. We'll see what happens.
Yeah, because there's a lot of things going on, and we can talk about that tonight. We don't have a guest for you tonight, but we have a lot that has gone on that we haven't been able to talk about in the last few weeks because of our great guests, and that's good. But let's jump back to your daughter. My son is getting ready to go to teen camp as well. Not the same one as your daughter, but they're going the same time. So you're getting ready. Where is Brielle going to teen camp?
They go to Lexington campgrounds. It's called The Crossing.
Okay.
When you were on the district, did you ever go to that campground, Lexington one?
I think we did one year.
Is that? Did you go to camp that one year there?
Yeah.
The homeless night camp one?
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, they're going back to that camp. That campground, they've put a ton of money into. It's way better than. Oh yeah, I remember we played basketball in that. I remember editing that video, by the way. Um, yeah. So they go to there. They go there. They leave tomorrow and come back on Friday. So
Yeah, that was that homeless. I think that was the same year of camp that was that the same year that Becky's aunt preached that sermon. It's not about you, and she
might have
really
been.
upset some teenagers.
Well,
Thinking
I mean,
back
there's
on
a
it,
possibility.
I think it was. I can't remember if it was that or a main event at Maranatha that she did that. I can't remember, but Danette did a great job of bringing the word as she did all the time. I think sometimes when you're younger, you don't have an appreciation for it, but Danette's pretty hardcore, and she's just straightforward, and that's what I loved about her. And I remember a message she preached. Maybe it was at camp, maybe it was different, but she just got our attention by saying it's not about you and making sure we heard it.
Yeah.
So
Maybe some of those teens really heard it and they really got upset.
that's what I mean.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that might have been camp. I would have to. I have my memory is not that great on that. Maybe it was maybe I was one of those teens that needed to hear it.
But you were already past. You were there helping. You were not a teen,
this was
right?
okay. Well, no, not at that camp.
Not at that camp. Okay, so I don't know where it falls in line in the chronological order there, but if I remember right, was that the same year that we went to camp? And for some reason, we were on a bus, and our bus broke down, and Rod Coffrin had to come pick us up on the highway.
Ooh, I don't.
And we were talking. We had Evan on the show in our Friendsgiving episode, and her sister Kara and I were in one of the seats, and we were calling each other's names based on the ingredients of a shampoo bottle. And that was fun. That was an interesting story to tell.
I don't remember.
But we were so tired because that camp was the worst camp when it came to sleep and all the stuff, because we had the one night of homelessness, and we slept outside with the cardboard boxes.
I almost feel like that was the net, because preaching it's not about you is understanding, taking away some of the things that you won.
It would have been fitting. It would have been fitting.
Fit that, yeah. So, but I don't remember a bus breaking down.
I don't think you were there that year.
No, I was.
That the bus broke down.
Oh, the bus broke down? Okay.
Because I don't remember you being on the bus with us. But the bus didn't break down. We got picked up in a bus. That's what it was.
Okay.
And I don't remember, because one of our church vans, our daycare vans, broke down, and some people had to come get us, and they got us on a bus. And I don't remember whose bus it was, or if they rented one, or what the deal was. But we had to ride.
I don't remember that.
Home on the bus.
That must have been like a fall retreat or something.
No, it was summer because it was hot and there was no air conditioning and we were all miserable. But here's the thing: it had to have been early on. It might not have been a camp, but it had to have been early on, because I don't know. There was different people on this bus than what normally went to youth stuff, and
his name is Nate. Leave him alone.
No. Nate was there. No, Jeff was there, and Kara and Evan were there. But Lena Thomas was there. Emily was there. I mean, Nick was there. So all the normal people, but Lena normally didn't go to stuff, and she was there. But I remember sitting in the back of the van before it broke down, or maybe while we were waiting for our ride, and Kara and I were sitting there, and we made this rule that we were going to call each other names based on the ingredients of herbal essence shampoo.
Wowzers.
Yeah. So
I think why I wasn't there then.
I think the one that won, I called her a rose hip.
Oh.
And that still sticks. I remember it's been a long time since I've seen Kara, but wherever it was the last time, I remember it getting brought up that That's the
Well,
name
I
we
guess
stuck.
we'll just have to get her on the podcast and she can clear it up.
Yeah, that'd be great. So,
Oh man, I'm curious now where I was.
so speaking of camp, as you're thinking about it, what is your best camp memory?
Best camp memory? Well, I think all the late night shenanigans, just like trying to sneak out of the cabin, or just wasn't it a camp that one year that we always. Do you remember that? Do you remember when we used to go around the back of the camp and they had that little farm that had like the cow in it, and we named it Hamburger? Do you
No.
remember any of this, or Cheeseburger? And then we were always convincing people that the burgers we were eating was the hamburger. I was kind of at camps a lot. I did a lot of helping with production for doing videos too, so I was participating but not participating.
Mm-hmm.
But
Yeah.
I always had fun doing those videos and producing them and getting footage to do these recap videos that we always did. Now they just do them on their phones, and that's boring. But I mean, I think just seeing people across the district and hanging out with people. I know that sometimes like our local church, they'd be like, "You never hang out with us, right?" We'd always be hanging out with somebody else. It would always
the
upset
girls in
them.
our group hated us.
Oh yeah, the girls in the group always disliked the fact that we weren't hanging out with them, and we were always hanging out with another set or few of girls somewhere else. And it's just like, well, that's what you're supposed to be doing.
Yeah.
You're supposed to be hanging out with. But the sports stuff, I mean, since we were so competitive, that was always fun. The games that they always did, late night games or the team games, were always fun, unless somebody gets thrown over a volleyball or a tennis net and they hurt themselves and they have to go to town. But yeah, I think just those things. I mean, the worship was a little different than what it is now, like what worship is, but the messages, and I mean, I remember hanging out, just like with the people that would come from MNU and then be a part of the groups. There's a lot of little things that were just fun that you look forward to, and just seeing.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Dennis Troyer still comes to things on the district, like it, and Dennis will be there this week.
What's crazy about, I got to shout out to Dennis Troyer, because Dennis Troyer was at Mid-America. He was a classmate of my dad when my dad was there, and he and Dennis and his wife lived in the same apartment complex as my mom and dad did at Mid-America. So they became friends, and they were good friends. But then when I went to college, I was recruited by Dennis Troyer, and Dennis sought me out, made it a way for me to get to Mid-America, and I got to Mid-America. So I got a cool story about that too. But where I was going with this is, now my daughter is going to college this year, and she's not going to Mid-America. But as she was narrowing the search down and she was applying to things, and it all started at NYC a couple of years ago, but Mid-America reached out to her, and it was Dennis Troyer that reached out to Emma and said, "I know your dad, and I know your grandpa and your brother," and just the legacy of Thelanders that have gone to Mid-America trying to get Emma to go to Mid-America. And I thought that was really cool that he reached out to her that way. But shout out to DT. What a guy. He's incredible.
Oh,
So.
he I don't know what event it was, but Bree and I think Becky went to pick up Bree or something, and Dennis had no idea that was my daughter. And then he had to apologize to Bree that, I was her dad, all that fun stuff. That's how Dennis is. All glowing remarks for Becky, but, Justin. But then she was talking about, there was something said about T-shirts or something like that, and then not even a few weeks later, there's a package that comes in the mail, and it's all the shirts that Bree, because Bree was like, "Yeah, I didn't get a shirt. Well, I got a shirt, but it was already one I had." It's like, I already have that shirt, and sure enough, Dennis is like sending packages to our house with the shirts that Bree didn't have, and one for Becky too, I believe. So yeah, no, it's cool seeing Dennis come through town once in a while. That's the last time. It was a couple. I think maybe it might have been last year. I saw him at church. He came through, and that guy, he's been doing it for a long time.
Yeah, he has. Yep.
Yeah, it's crazy to think that my daughter is interacting with Dennis Troyer now. So
Yeah. Yeah,
hasn't changed.
I had a cool moment with DT. So I was deciding between Mid America and Southern Nazarene when I was going to school, and ended up choosing Mid America to go to just really because of legacy. I wanted to go where my dad went and where my uncle went, and so I chose to go to Mid America, and it took some finagling from the admissions to get me there, just from a financial standpoint and all the things. Well, one of the things they do freshman week is there's nobody else on campus. It's just the freshmen. It's kind of an introduction. We're going to be taking my daughter to NNU's version of this in a few weeks. And the first week you're there, you're not supposed to. The first weekend you're there, you're not supposed to go home. And they have stuff planned every night for you and all the things. Well, that kicks off with a night of worship, and then there's a time of reflection. And we all wrote down kind of our goals for the 4 years we were going to be there and what we wanted to accomplish by graduation, and wrote it down on a little piece of paper. And then as the admission team we dug a hole on campus, and then the goal was by the time we graduated, we would dig that time capsule up, if you will, and see our things. Well, there was kind of a passing of the torch ceremony, if you will. And in this thing, all the freshmen we were around in a circle, and the admissions counselors were in the middle. And so DT and all the different regional counselors were in there. And during this ceremony, they're all talking about how, they did their job to get us there, and they've recruited us, and they've talked to us. They've been to our events, just like we were talking about. But now they were passing the torch to us to now be the students that they knew us to be, so that we could be the leaders that would lead Mid-America into the future and beyond and whatnot. So it was a candle lighting ceremony, all the pomp and circumstance stuff. Well, Dennis is in the middle. There's, I don't know, 200 people, 200 freshmen there, maybe, all in a circle. And so I'm just one of those people. And so there's 6 or 8 admissions counselors in the middle, and they all had the candles, and then they went out to the circle and lit the candle, and then we all lit it around, and it lit up the circle, right?
Yeah.
Well, Dennis is walking over, and he's walking towards me, but he doesn't see me, and so he's walking towards like a couple other students next to me, and then he looks up, and Dennis is an emotional guy, and he's crying, and he looks up and he sees me out of the corner of his eye, and he just turns and just comes straight to me and lights my candle first. And just, we had that moment, because of what it took for me to get to Mid-America. And it was pretty special. But then to have that torch passed from somebody that was there with my dad was pretty cool. That was pretty special. I didn't graduate from Mid-America. I had a similar thing happen at graduation at NBC from the president of NBC, which was pretty cool. But that we could save that story for another time. But those moments are special. Dennis Troyer made those moments with Mid-America groups at our events awesome. I remember vividly him doing the contest for the T-shirts, and Brooke Dye having to lick the peanut butter. And,
oh my gosh.
Yeah, just so many different things that went on that you could not do today and get away with it. But it worked, and
because everybody has a peanut allergy now.
That's true. Yeah, somebody would have been offended, and PETA would have been called in. But
I saw Brooke recently.
Yeah,
she came up with Brad Clough's, with Brandon Clough's youth group. They came up and did a local mission trip and came and helped cleaned up our property to get it ready so they can. There's some things in the grocery store that need to be cleared out, and they're doing some local work and missions kind of things locally for some of our properties. They were looking for somewhere close by to come do stuff. So
nice.
A whole group of them, like 27 of them, came and knocked it out. Yeah. So I got to see her. That was good old times. Now we have kids. So, what was your favorite memory of like a of youth camps?
Oh man. Well, I had the
Besides the
bless.
girls all chasing you.
No, no, no.
Whatever. You had a
Um,
girlfriend at every camp, didn't you?
no, because the first camp I went to, I ended up meeting a girl and ended up dating her for 3 years. Um,
Yeah.
so I was with her, but that was one of the memories I had of camp was of Taylor. That first camp, we were sitting in the chapel getting ready for service, and we had taken our Bibles in, and we'd hung out all week, and our Bibles were in between us on the pew in the chapel. And Taylor looks at me, and I think she was a junior and I was a freshman or something like that. And she looked at me and she goes, I think there's something between us. And I'm like, oh my gosh, what are you saying? And she was dead serious. And then she looks down and she goes, it's our Bibles. We have our Bibles between us. And I was like, okay,
Uh-oh.
jokester.
Jokester.
But
Taylor.
that was probably not my best memory of camp, but that's one that comes to mind. I had the blessing of being a youth pastor for a while, so I got to go to camp a lot more than just as a teenager. And some of my best memories were going as a youth pastor.
Okay.
We went to an incredible campground in Missouri. Well, we were on the Illinois district, but we went to this campground in Missouri called Table Rock Lake. And Table Rock is just an incredible
Table
campground.
Rock or Top of the Rock?
Table Rock.
Table Rock. Is that down in
Lake of the
Branson?
Ozarks.
Yeah, Branson area.
Yep.
That's yeah.
And
Okay, go ahead.
they're endorsed by Bassmaster Boats, and so they have like 7 or 8 ski boats.
Okay.
And so, but they also do a program, like a biblical spiritual program that he does. And what's cool about their camp is that your workers go there, and the goal for your workers as a youth pastor and your sponsors, your leaders, is that they don't have to do the work. And it's not a vacation, but they're encouraged to just build relationship with their kids. And that was really what was cool for me, was even when I went as a youth pastor, and then when I was the pastor of that same church later on, I went as their pastor and got to go hang out with the kids, and that was fun. But Table Rock did a good job with that, because there was always spiritual moments. There's baptisms, there's communion, there was fun on the lake, obviously, but it was the workers at that camp, those kids, those college kids that go in and work that camp, were incredible kids. And everybody left Table Rock knowing they had fun. They had a lot of fun, and they were tired, but they met with Jesus, and it was awesome. The worship was top notch, and it was great. But one of my biggest memories of camp was taking my kids to camp. My kids.
Yeah.
So I got to go to camp with Ian and Emma. I think Elliot got to go one year. I can't remember. Maybe not. Maybe I didn't get to go with Elliot. I can't remember exactly. But one year I went, and Emma and I, she tolerated her dad going with her out on the boats one day. And Ian was kind of like I was at camp. He was always with the girls and always with the friends, and I didn't blame him one bit. I thought it was fun to watch him. But yeah, I did get to go with Elliot because he wanted to play basketball. Anyway, this memory was with Emma, and I'll never live it down, but I'm going to share the story. We went tubing, and these college kids drove the boats, and their whole goal was to see who they could throw the highest off the tubes or break, whatever, get somebody hurt. Well, we went out on the double tube. And at the time, Emma, I mean, she still is, she's a very, small girl, but I'm the blob that I am. And we go on this double tube together. And so we're crisscrossed on this tube. As you can imagine, our arms are crisscrossed. So I've got one hand kind of across her. She's got one arm in front of me, and we're crisscrossed hanging onto this tube. And we get going, and we're having so much fun. And we go over one of the wakes, and I'm trying to turn the tube to get us to go outside the wake and all this stuff. And we get us outside the wake so we can hit it coming back. And we come and we hit it coming back, and we go up, and we're just smiling and laughing. And we hit the water, and I bite my daughter.
Oh,
in the arm and drew blood.
why? How did you bite her?
Because her arm was in front of
You
me,
just
and we hit that thing, and our mouths were open because we were smiling, and my teeth came down and chomped her arm,
Oh,
and she started bleeding. And we had got off the tube, and we're getting into the boat, and one of the other persons goes, "Emma, you're bleeding. What happened?" I mean, we didn't even know it happened, but now I never live it down. I bit my daughter at teen camp. So
you vampire!
yeah,
Surprised they let
yeah,
you out at during the daylight,
right.
huh? I don't know
So
if I don't. You probably told me that story. Maybe it hasn't been 3 days.
yeah, that was it. That was a fun camp memory. But Table Rock
I think
did a good job. I got a lot of memories at Table Rock.
Table Rock. I think that's where the Kansas City district for where my
Mm-hmm.
brother, where Wilson, Nate's son, went or is
Yep.
going.
Yep.
So pretty popular area.
Yeah, it is.
Well, how long of a drive was it for you guys from Illinois down there?
From Illinois, from where we were at in Illinois, so the district would caravan. They'd rent some Greyhound buses, and we didn't do that because we were closer to the campground. I think it took us, I want to say 3.5, maybe 4 hours.
Okay,
So
because it's 3 hours from Kansas City.
yeah,
Because that Table Rock, that place that you're talking about is like 6 hours away from Lincoln. I know that.
it might have been further. It might have been 5 hours now that I think about it. Yeah.
It might have been 3 days.
It
Who
was
knows?
worth it though. It was worth it. It wasn't worth the money to pay the extra for the district to carpool together, but it was worth it to take the kids to that camp for sure.
Yeah. Well, that's cool. I mean, there's a lot of kids who go to different types of camps and stuff, and those are memories that they all have. I mean, I know that a lot of people, I still talk about, well, I talk about the things that we had and what kids are now. They, like we were talking about today, like they don't even take their cell phones away. I'm like, we didn't even have cell phones.
Oh,
Like
they do for our kids.
they do work. They take it away
take
for
them
the,
away.
or make them leave them in their rooms or something.
Yep. And we did
So
at Table Rock. Table Rock did a contest 2 weeks prior to camp. You could compete. It wasn't mandatory, but they encouraged it. And if you did it, you got a special snack shack money or prize at camp. But they encouraged a 2 week fast from social media and from your phone.
oh geez,
And so kids would do that leading up to camp, so their hearts were prepared to hear what the Lord had to say. And like I
yeah.
said, it was powerful. He did a great job of bringing the word and bringing some serious things to those kids.
Do they have somebody who's like on staff as a pastor that does that, or do they bring special people in?
So you could do it either way. Sometimes we had a special speaker that we paid to come in, but most of the time he ran his own stuff. So he had a curriculum that he did, and it was like a 3-year cycle. So you had to go 3 years in a row to get the full cycle, which was kind of cool too. I can't remember his name, the guy that ran the camp, but he was the camp director, and he was a pastor, an ordained pastor in the Church of the Nazarene, and so he brought the lessons usually. Well, definitely during the day, and then sometimes there was a different speaker at night.
Gotcha.
So the mornings were devotions, and they were the teaching times, and then the night was more of like your church service style.
Gotcha. Well, that's cool.
Yeah,
I've heard about that place. I just didn't know. You said that he has some connection to the Nazarene. You said?
Yeah, it's a Nazarene camp. Yeah.
Oh, okay. It is okay. We should have went there.
Yep. Fun in the Sun Ministries might be what it's called.
Fun in the Sun, SON,
Yep.
Ministries. You're 100% right. I'm cheating. I'm looking at it right now.
Yeah, I was trying to think of the guy's name. I want to give him credit.
It's Rick Pearson.
Rick Pearson. Yep. Rick's
Cool.
the guy. And there's a couple. We had a friend in Kansas City that went to our church when we were there. His daughter has been a worker out there now, and that was pretty cool to see. Some of these kids grow up and go work out there. So yeah, it's pretty cool.
That's awesome. That's it those are, like I said just a little bit ago, those are the things that people remember, those points in their life. They look back, and there's a lot of cool things that come from those camps, especially all the people that sometimes you just bring to camp. They will only come to church once in a while, and how they I still remember. Do you remember we had somebody in our district who just came as a friend of somebody. I think she was from the Hastings area. um I think she went on to be a minister or in the ministry, but she was just like was that Molly or something like that?
Molly Fry.
Yeah, didn't she just come like as a get like a friend of somebody invited her for a summer camp, and then
Yeah.
she just has went on and doing some awesome things. So
Yeah, I don't
if
know
I
where
remember
she's.
correct,
I'm sure you're right because she's. Yeah, I'm sure you're right for
but I
sure.
just remember like her story, just like she just got invited. Um, I don't even know which person from that group would have invited her. I'll be honest with you. I mean, we knew so many people in Hastings.
I think she was friends with Nicole.
Oh, Nicole, yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah,
Yep, you're right. She was a friend of Nicole.
because when we connected with Nicole, you connected me with Nicole when we were driving out here um to move out here. We got our Jeep was
Oh
doing some
yeah,
things, and you connected
and
me with her because her husband was a mechanic while we were in western Nebraska.
yeah,
So
guess I did do something right. Oh, was it Nick? It wasn't not Nicole. It was Amber.
Amber,
Yes,
I'm sorry, Amber. It was Amber, not Nicole.
yeah. Because when you said Western, it was out by North Platte.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah. Because I was like, Nicole was from Hastings.
yeah.
Yeah. No,
Nicole
no, no.
Woodward.
Yep.
Sorry, we're giving away last names and everything now.
They're married now. They have different last names
That's
that we
true.
can't remember.
That's true.
So yes, Amber. Um, but yeah. Anyways, so those are the kind of cool stories. Those are impactful. I know that Bree really loves going to camp, and she looks forward to it, and it's cool to see you know your kids excited for it to go, and they want to go, and you don't feel like you're forcing them. So
Yeah,
um, so yeah, it's really cool. And Elliot's probably the same way, right? He's just looking forward to go all the time.
he is. He went to junior high camp a couple weeks ago and was a junior sponsor, junior leader,
Yeah.
and he went with Cooper, our other son, and so that was cool. They got to room together and spend the week together, so that was pretty cool. So
Yeah, that's awesome. It's cool for them to, reinvest back into the younger generations to do that stuff. So
yeah, Elliot's been a leader in the youth group here for quite a while, not just the youth group, but at school. He's been the president of FCA for a couple of years now, and as an underclassman, and now he's a senior leading them again. So it's pretty cool. Yeah,
no, that's awesome stuff. Proud parent moment, right?
for sure, for sure. Yep.
Yeah.
And it's like I've said, we were talking a little bit about Emma. I mean, she's going to school for ministry, and it's just can't. That's pretty cool. So
Yeah, definitely with her graduation speech, man. So that's something else. Hopefully you got a better quality video than I gave you.
I haven't even gone to look at it since then. So, but I appreciate the effort and sending that to me. So,
It's all good.
but yeah, she did a great job. She's incredible. God's still writing her story, and um, I'm very thankful for what she's about to head into, and she's excited. We're excited for her. It's gonna be a great time for her. Great
Does she
season of
know who
life.
her roommate or anything like that yet? Does she know all that stuff already?
Yeah, she does. That was one of the things she was nervous about and was having some anxiety about. And we went and took her and Elliot to a visitation back the end of the school year. second semester time frame. So then when we were out there, her advisor, her enrollment counselor said, there's a special weekend for enrolled students, accepted students, to come and check out the campus and spend the weekend and kind of see it, what it would be like at college rather than just a school visit. So
Yeah.
Emma's mom made that happen, and they went out there a few weeks after that to go see. And Emma had told me, she goes, I'm just really nervous. I know a couple people that are going to school from here in McMinnville. We have a couple friends that have some kids that are there, that live there. We have family that lives there, but they don't go to school there, obviously. So there's a lot of different connections there, but she was just nervous about her roommate. Well, she goes to this weekend, and I said, I'm going to pray specifically that you find your roommate. Yeah. And she said, okay. And so I did. I started praying for that, and I texted her over the weekend, how's it going? Any prospects? She goes, yeah. And she ends up FaceTiming me one night and tells me this whole story about, as they were at orientation for this weekend, she met up with, this group of girls, and they just really hit it off. There's 5 or 6 of them that just are very much alike, and they got along great. And one of the girls in particular, they just really spent a lot of time together. And about halfway through the second day, this girl looks at her and says, she started asking questions to Emma, like, are you a morning person or a night person? Those kind of things. And so they were just kind of filling out the tension.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden this girl does what Emma would have done if this girl didn't do it. And she's like, well, let's just cut to the chase. Do you just want to be my roommate? Or because one of the questions she asked Emma was, I want a roommate that's not just going to be somebody who's just looking for a roommate. I want somebody who can be a friend for life,
like
that we can bond
together.
With. Yeah. And Emma said, same. That's what I want. I want somebody I can trust, somebody that I can go to the depths with. And so then that's when later on this girl's like, well, why don't we just be roommates? And she's like, I would love that. So they've been talking and organizing it all, and it's been really cool. She's from California, but her grandparents live there in Nampa, and so she's going to be going up there. And but yeah, they've got it all figured out and working towards it, and they're excited.
That's awesome. That's a welcome relief to make it to start on the best path that you can, especially with a lot of the unknowns. That's probably what it is with a lot of the kids going off to college now. I can't even fathom it right now, to be honest with you. But
I don't feel that old to have. I have one kid that's married. I have another kid that's in life skills. He's been graduated now. This will be going on his second year. He's got he's awesome, Ronnie. And then Emma just graduated and doing all that she's doing, speaking at graduation and going off to college. And then we got 2 more graduating this year. And so Elliot and Hannah graduate this year. And so it's crazy. I'm not that old, man.
Well, you're definitely younger than me, and that makes me feel old.
Yeah. Yep.
But yeah. Well, it's cool though. That's exciting. A lot of kids are headed out to. A lot of parents and kids are separating for the first time, so a lot of anxiety going on there for people. But yeah, it's good. You can see your kids at the holidays.
Yeah. Emma told me this weekend. She said something about, Dad, I already have plans for fall break, so I won't see you on fall break, but I'll be back for Thanksgiving. And I said, okay.
You're like, just go. Technology helps nowadays. You can, see your kids more and more often.
Yeah.
Well, if they're not always busy.
Right. I mean, when she was gone at this weekend where she met her roommate, she told me afterwards, she goes, everybody wouldn't leave me alone. They were texting me all the time. She goes, if this is how it's going to be when I move down here, I don't know how I'm going to do it. And I said, just remember who's always texted you every single day for the last 2 years and has never stopped. And she's
Yeah.
like, I know, Dad, you have. I said, these other people, they don't do that every day. So
Yeah.
they're doing it because it was a special occasion, but I will do it and I will keep doing it. And that's why I'm requiring you between every class to FaceTime me and check in and let me know how things are going.
Between every class.
Between every class, yeah.
Oh, okay. You have time for that, huh?
You make time.
You make time. Yep. 100% you do. Everybody should. When your kids call, you gotta answer.
You gotta answer, yeah.
Don't send them to voicemail, even though they might send you to voicemail 100 times.
Oh, man. Yeah.
Is that a hill to die on?
I mean, it could be. It could be. It's a strong opinion that I just don't. I get it, I guess, because we're their parent, but we're their parent too.
Yeah.
Just respond.
Yeah.
Anyway.
I wonder how many unread messages kids can go before they realize they should respond back to their parents. We're not picking on any of our kids. We're just talking in general.
Oh, I am.
Well, I was trying to save you, but
oh, yeah.
No, but good stuff. That's one thing my kids. I don't do like the Live 360 or whatever everybody else does. Live 365, whatever it's called. What's it called?
Live 360.
Yeah, I don't do any of that, but I do require them to answer my messages within a timely fashion. Especially if they're out doing something, just checking in. So I think I've scared them a little too much maybe over the years, but I don't know. It'll probably backfire against me at some point.
Mm-hmm.
Isn't that usually how that goes?
Maybe. You hope not.
Yeah.
But, we've talked about this, and I don't think we settled on anything official, but we both have kind of been through some transitions recently, which we could spend a show talking about, and maybe we should process it and get it up and out. But a lot of times we ask each other how the weekend's been and what we've been up to, but I think I'd be remiss if I didn't mention what took place for me this weekend, if I can take a few minutes, if you don't mind.
Go ahead, man.
But I know, as Phil talked to us last week about just, kind of, and Cara the week before, just everybody's been through a lot in the last 20 years, let alone the last 2 or 3, 4 years, But this weekend we celebrated 10 years of my sister going home to be with Jesus. And somebody might hear me say celebrated and be like, why are you celebrating that your sister's gone? But I'm not celebrating that she's gone. Please let me be clear about that. But hard to believe it's been 10 years.
Yeah.
And so every year we celebrate with some of her favorite things and just talk about her and reminisce. And I think I told Cara this when we talked to her. Time doesn't heal all wounds. I don't think that's ever a thing, but what I've found to be true is that time does cause us to remember the good things, and those far outweigh the bad things and the hard times. And this year we got to celebrate my sister with my new family and with people that have never met her and have never got to know her joy. But the way they just leaned in and listened and participated and learned about Beth was really cool, and I was thankful for that. So just want to give a shout out to my mom and dad and to my brother during this time. And as I talked to my mom and dad the other night, it was one of those things my mom says is, BJ, I'm so glad you're doing fun things to remember Beth, because every day is hard. We talked about that on Father's Day. Those phone calls that don't come anymore are tough. And but my mom said, I miss her every day, but I try to make sure that every day I think about the good times we had with her. And my sister was 30 when she passed, and I used to say this in ministry a lot. It was like, when somebody died young, well, man, they were taken too soon. Or I learned early on in my time in dealing with death that when people have lived a full life, then it's okay for them to go. But there's not necessarily a time frame for that.
Yeah.
And I know here in McMinnville, we've had the unfortunate reality in the last 2 years. We've lost at least 10 high school students in the last 2 years to various different things, suicide, accidents, health, many different things. But that's a lot. It's a lot for these kids to go through when their friends die and go through it. Our community in Pittsfield just went through this again. They've had 3 students this year die in car accidents, and it's tough. It's hard. And but I used to say this about my sister. You know, my sister was 30 years old, but she had lived a full life. Some of it self-imposed and self-inflicted.
Yeah.
But she had lived a full life. And as her daughter posted this weekend on socials that, you know, I don't understand why God needed you there more than here, but evidently it was her time. And I said this then, I'll say it till I die, is I would never want my sister back to take her away from where she's at.
Yeah.
I am glad she's healed, that she is in heaven, and I'm thankful for the time and the memory I had with her. I'm sad that she never got to meet, you know, Ronnie. She never got to meet our foster kids. She never didn't get to see Ian get married. She won't get to see her grandkids. She didn't get to meet my wife and our new family, but I'm thankful that we get to celebrate a full life lived. So thanks for giving me a few minutes. Just shout out to Bethany Joy.
Yeah.
So 10 years.
Yeah, we said this a few times, and just recently last week, it's just remembering those phone calls that happened and came, and like you said, you start thinking about over the years as they go by, you still think about all those awesome times with them. Bethany was like another little sister to me, and I kind of treated her that way sometimes. You know, always messing around. I mean, we were just like all brothers picking on your sister, right? I remember, her and Alicia were always together, and just picking on them and having fun, but just treating them and protecting them too. I think about all those times at your parents' house together, out running around town. There's just so many memories. I remember we came home with you guys from Worlds of Fun night. Do you remember when your parents' van broke down?
Yeah.
Coming home from Worlds of Fun night, and we all had to stay in that hotel room until it got
Yep.
fixed. It was like a ton of us. It was your whole family, me, and I don't know if
Nick Messing was there.
Nick Messing, yeah.
Yep.
I just remember like I was hanging out in that van, and then it broke down, and we had to stay. We might have been in Platts City.
I think so.
Yeah, I just remember I don't remember the hotel or anything. I don't remember the specifics, but I just remember being in just all of us had to hang out, and we just chilled. I just remember the family things and the family dynamics, and your sister was always involved and always joking around or playing a joke on somebody or having, just those are the memories that I have with her, obviously, being quote unquote the outsider, right? I got to deal with the fun stuff, right? And I didn't, some of the things that the families go through sometimes together, that's for you guys. But I know that I was always there, if needed. And it's always nice to have an angel looking over for you all the time too. So, so just to know that you have somebody over there watching over you, like many others, that family members and stuff. You got somebody protecting you. So yeah.
Yeah, those are cool places and good memories, and for sure. So yeah, I just wanted to say that, just to shout out to her for sure. So
10 years. I think Emma shared a picture of her and Beth cooking together or something, or baking.
they were making
And
brownies in that picture.
brownies,
Yeah.
yeah. And I was like, I showed it to Bree and Brenton. I was like, "Hey, who is this in this picture?" And I was like, "This is Emma." And I said, "This is BJ's sister Bethany." And it's so amazing. Like, we remember Bethany, but then you forget like how young your kids were too, and like, because Emma would have been like 7 or 8 in that picture, right? 8.
So she would have been 10 years. She would have been 10 years old when she died. So she would have been, yeah, probably 7 or 8
Yeah.
in that
So
picture.
just thinking about that, just our kids grow up, but sometimes the adult, just like you start thinking about, oh yeah, Beth or Emma was really, but it's cool that Emma has um those memories and those pictures of of her aunt. So
Yeah. Yeah, that was, Emma wasn't with us the other night when we celebrated, but Elliot was, and Elliot was really young. I mean, so
yeah,
Emma would have been 7. I'm sorry. Emma was 10 years ago she would have been 7. So she would have been 6 or 7 in that picture.
yeah,
Um, but yeah, we were talking, Elliot has like one memory of my sister that he
mm-hmm,
remembers. And those memories are fleeting because he was so young,
yeah,
and even Logan, her son, posted a thing about, there's times that I don't remember what your voice sounds like, but he was 6 years old when his mom died, and
mm-hmm.
I can't imagine. I can't imagine. But
Yeah, that
yep,
would, yeah, that's, yeah, I can't even process it
yeah,
to think about how that would affect, especially like Logan and being that young and losing mom. I remember you telling me how the family had. Oh, jeez,
yeah,
stronger
yeah.
person than I am.
That was a rough few days for sure. But
Yeah, definitely. All right, man.
well, what's on your
Well,
mind? What do you need to say?
I don't need. You know, I
How
don't. I
many
don't think.
episodes have you listened to, Justin?
How many episodes have I listened to?
Yeah.
I listened to every single one of them. It's interesting. I do go back. As I edit them, there are times where, like, if there's like these dead moments or dead silences where we're talking, or there's some of that emotion that comes through, like, for example, like Phil, when he was talking, we could see the emotion, but like
Right.
on video, on the audio piece, you're just like, well, how long is that gap? When we're watching, if you're with somebody, right, you're like, how, not that you're trying to make it go fast or anything, but then when you listen to the audio, I went back and I'm listening to it, I was like, it doesn't even seem that long. But
Yeah.
it kind of felt like there's a lot of dead space, and but that's what makes those moments too, at the
Mhm.
same time. So, but yeah, no, I listen to pretty much I listen to it usually right after we get done to make sure the recording sounds decent, and then throughout the week. Well, then I make our own reels if I find if there's good audio out of there. So I'm re-listening to it again. So unfortunately, probably listen to it 2 or 3 times in a span of the week of trying to get things out of it. But
Mhm.
so I'm an every episode guy.
Yep. Yep, for sure. I listen to it that morning it comes out, and yeah, always try to give you kudos for how you make a sound. So
Well, do the little things that I'm able to. But yeah, no, it's good. It's been fun. I'm excited for the things that are going to come up. We talked a little bit about what we want to do, and I think we have some opportunities to talk about, like you said, the stuff that we've gone through recently. Maybe we can make something out of it, and I don't know, have some good conversations that are probably going to be more than an hour. We
Yeah.
might turn it into a mini series that Netflix will pick up or something. I
There we
don't know.
go. There we go. There's a question for you. Who would you have play you in a movie of yourself?
I don't even know. Um, I have no idea. I don't look like anybody.
Yeah.
Um,
I had somebody tell me once that no, I just lost his name. Jason Alexander's who should play me in a movie.
Play you?
Yeah.
Good question. I wonder what AI would say about who would play us if we put our photos in an AI.
I figure I look more like Channing Tatum, but somebody said I look more like Jason Alexander. So.
Oh,
Yeah.
well, I mean, you could take Channing Tatum. He was in those stripper movies, Magic Mike's.
I mean, yeah. I mean, if the shoe fits.
If you made some side hustle.
I've never stripped for money.
We did have a random hooker drop last week. That was funny.
That was funny. I had never heard that story. That was good.
I laughed so hard. Oh man, that's good stuff. But I don't know. What's on your mind? Anything else? Well, you already got it off your mind. Your mind's been full this last week.
My mind's always full, for sure. But yeah, yeah, there's a lot going on, and in my life and in my world right now, and it's good. The door's staying open for some things, and I'm excited for that. So yeah, it's good. I don't want to say too much, but there's a lot going on, and I can't wait to fully unveil it here and be of help to anybody who may need it. And but yeah, things are moving.
We're gonna have our 1 year anniversary come up on the podcast soon. I think. I don't know.
Yep.
When's 1 year?
August 13th.
August 13th, huh?
Something like that.
We're get 1 year, BJ. 1 year.
We probably better have our MVP listener on around that time so he can tell us and give us some criticism on how we're doing.
Oh yeah? Think he can handle that?
He needs to say more than one word answers when we ask him a question.
Yeah, maybe he should start preparing himself for that. But well, I think we kind of talked about this pre-show. I think we are. I don't know. Breaking news. We're gonna put a pause on the podcast. We're gonna take a little break. I'm calling it.
Okay. Executive decision from
executive decision has been made. We're gonna make it.
Manager.
Yeah. No, I mean, we never really discussed how many episodes we're gonna do per season, and we are coming up on the 1 year, and I think we want to get some things ready heading into what the direction is for the next season. And I think we'll probably come back that week before or the week of our 1 year anniversary, and we'll just come back out with some things, and we'll have hopefully have some direction. I know that some of the people that we want to interview had said that they're not available till August anyways, so it might be good timing to kind of work in those things. And I am still chasing people, trying to get some of that stuff locked down, but that'll help us because I think BJ and I have a couple ideas about what we want to call mini series or some type of involvement there where we can just go a few episodes a week that we can drop about certain topics, and something we're now kind of getting out of those seasons on some of them, and we can really start getting into it and feeling pretty comfortable with it as much as possible. Yeah, and with our, we've had recent job changes too, so that's requiring some extra time to navigate and if any of our employers are listening to our podcast, we're too busy, I don't have the extra time because I'm learning my new job to do some
Mhm.
of the podcast prepping. So we just want to make sure that we're putting good product out there for people, and that the people who are listening to us are enjoying it still, and we want to make sure that we, or at least I do, put out some good product. So, but
Yeah, for sure. So yeah, it's official. It's made the airwaves. So we have we're wrapping up season 2, and I'm thankful for you, Justin, and thankful for you for keeping me in this. I told you pre-show, I love it when we're on and we're doing it, because it's relationship and it's what comes out. But there's been times where I haven't really felt in the mood, and I know you've had some of those days as well. Um, we're just being real. That's what we do on this podcast. But
yeah,
um,
and it's just about, when it's not your full-time job. Um, I I can't imagine trying to create. I mean, when we have life going on, we have jobs, and the kids are this, and just life, and we're not. It's not a complaint or anything. It's just we want to make sure that we're putting something out there that's good, and it's good investment for both of us and for everybody else, and we're excited about some cool opportunities or ways of revamping this. And season 2's been a little bit different than season 1. Now season 3 is going to come into the sport season 2, so we'll probably get those people back. Says, you guys talk too much sports, but we're really kind of, there's a lot of relationships that we've had with other people that we haven't had on yet that I think we're excited for to bring on and hear stories, and some people that want to come back too that we've talked to. So yeah, I'm excited for it. I just want to make sure that we're doing our due diligence and prepping and doing that, getting things ready for it. So that's what we're going to take time. You just have to, BJ will
stay
still have to
tuned.
talk to me. You'll still have to talk to me, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah, that's not changing. But
No, I know.
um, but yeah, it's been definitely, I think we're ending this season on a high. I know this just is breaking news tonight, but we didn't know it before the show started. So
We just get a feeling about it. So
yeah, but again, shout out to everybody who's joined us this year, this week or this season, and that's really what it comes down to. Is if we're providing not content that has to be entertaining, we're not in a niche that's trying to make money off this or
yeah,
anything like that. But it is about relationship. It's about what we're going through, what we've been through, and how that might help somebody else. And we're getting feedback that it has. So as long as that's the case, then we'll keep going. If the people that we care about don't want to listen anymore, then it's probably time for us to hang up their cleats. But I don't think
when
that's where we're at yet.
yeah, no, we're not there yet. And just the summer, we're in the last few weeks of the summer, being able to
Yep.
hang out with our families and not have to, and everybody's the same way too, right? The people that, we want to do stuff with, they're busy. And we get it. We're not paying any advances, so we can't really, money's not driving them to our podcast.
Right.
But yeah, it's just, it's a good spot, and we can get started, in the fall. But yeah, I know. I didn't ask you or tell you. We did talk about it a little bit, and I'm just dropping it now. I feel good about it. I was kind of hoping. I was kind of feeling you out from the episode how I was feeling. I think it's a good time to do it. We're 23 episodes into the second season, and for us, I think it feels pretty good. So
Yeah, 23 is a good number. We both like that number.
yeah, we do.
So we can
Yeah.
drop that down.
So, all right, man.
So
Well, podcast friends, thank you. We'll be back in a few weeks. Our social medias won't go away. We'll probably try to keep things updated there as best as we can.
you can post one of those in between times of one of like a chat GPT or episode where it pulls everything together, and AI episode. That's what we're going to call it.
Oh, we should
Pull
do.
together an AI episode.
I've been taught. I need to figure out. I don't know if AI can do this. It probably can. I want to be able to have like, or at least go get my son, who's our historian, and pull the funniest parts of the episodes and put them all together and throw them out as a clip episode. And maybe I can do that with these next few weeks off, and we'll see. Um, it'd be fun to go back. There are some episodes that I've gone back and listened to, and man, I still laugh my head off. Like that thing, I don't know who I was sharing the Thanksgiving episode with, but man, the stuff that was in there, the stories that were in there, oh my gosh. So, anyways, looking
Yeah.
forward to more of those stories. There's more people out there that got stories about you, not me.
Yeah,
Um,
right.
so, but so let's do that. Podcast family, you're gonna have to take a break from us. Sorry, some
Sounds
of you.
good. Well, I appreciate that, and we'll come back fresh and with some new content and ready to go for season number 3. But again, yeah, thank you for joining us for this season. It's been fun. It's been good. And as we have continued to say, keep looking up, keep trusting in Him. He's the author and finisher of our faith. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you next season.
See you.